Good afternoon, fret friends. A rare day off from Royal Mail today. So I have a PRS Mark Holcomb 2022 model right here. What a fabulous guitar. I can't believe I sold my Mark Holcomb. So I'm going to go and buy another in a moment. I do have my solo up for sale, but let's talk about this one. So I did an appraisal video on this one last week. The guy just says he wants it setting up proper because it's just buzzing and what have you. He's getting dead notes, and I says, well, it's doing all that because you've got unlevel frets. We're about, I think we're 9 unlevel frets on this guitar. This has standard strings on, 1046 I believe, in standard tuning. Now these are built for a drop C tuning, but it sounds remarkable at this tuning and with these strings now it's set up right. So one thing I've already done is I've altered a little bit the saddles. I'm going to alter them again because the radius is wrong. I do believe it's got a really quite a flat radius. Did I hear it was a 20-inch radius? May have done. Was that true? Well, let's find out. Radius gauge on there. It doesn't seem to be a 20. It's nowhere near that flat. I'd have thought 14. So where did we hear that these were an 18-inch radius? I always assumed that they would be around about a 14-inch radius. The pickups in these guitars are phenomenal. The Alpha and Omega set by Seymour Duncan. Right, so it is, no, it's definitely flatter than a 14. 14, 15, 16, I go 14, 15, 16, 20. Let's try a 16. Maybe it is an 18. Well, that's a 16, and that more or less hits the nail on the head. So it looks to be round about 16-ish. So I'm quite happy with that. Very flat anyway. So that is that. So we're just going to have a look. Let's have a look under these saddles. The action is a bit low on this, but we are going to level the frets. Now the radius on the strings is awful. No wonder it's getting fret buzz. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the right Allen wrench, and we're going to have a little look at the saddles. Let me whiz over here. Grab some tools. So, like I said, a bad setup on this, which is not going to help anything. Let's try 1.5 mil. Don't know if it's with the right one. It is the right one. So let us detune, and we're going to raise these saddles. So I'm going to get the 2 outside ones set. Then I'm going to raise the 4 middle ones higher than they need to be. Quite a bit higher than they need to be. And then we're going to drop them onto the radius gauge. I could see straight away when they wore the guitar and says, those saddles aren't right. You're not matching this radius here at all. But you're not going to have that much of a radius on there if it's 16-inch. So let me just measure at the 12th fret. Bass. That's too low. That's far too low. It is 3/4. It is 0.75mm on the treble side. People try and do the impossible. Stop being silly. 0.75mm. So you're going to have 1.25 on the treble side, 1.5 on the bass side. I know you want a light action. We'll set the neck straight. I have no relief, but come on guys, crikey me. Give us a fighting chance. Okay, let's see where we are. 1.6 on the bass. Got 1.4 on the treble, so we can go lower, which is fantastic. Now let us have a look at the amount of relief in the neck first. Some people's expectations of what they want regarding action is beyond belief. Go on, I can get down to like 3/4 millimetre. No, you can't. Don't be fucking stupid. I'm not swearing. 0.75. You're just being stupid now. You wonder why you're getting freckles. You bought it innocent, getting freckles everywhere. So, well, look at your action. It's like 1 millimetre. It's ludicrous. It'll be 1.5 millimetres. Which is where we're going to be. There's nothing on that, so look at the relief. There's no relief on this neck, it's dead straight. No, I have loosened the strings, there's no relief on there. Plug it in and get it to pitch. I'll have a look where we are. This is why you bring your guitars to someone like me. But your expectations, stop being silly now. Treble side 1.5 mil, maybe 1.2 mil on your treble side, 1.5 on your bass side. It's the lowest you're going to get. You're playing heavy metal music on these guitars, you're hitting them strings hard. You're going to vibrate more, you're not going to have a super low action. Anybody that says, yes you are, you can't, it's contrary to what I'm saying, you don't know what you're talking about. I do this for a living, I've been doing it years. I've been less than 1 millimetre. No you haven't. Very strange tuning this into standard pitch. Now then, you always tune in properly in the playing position. Because it always makes it flatter laying down. Sorry, sharper laying down. So gravity has an effect on the guitar strings. Some crackpots out there saying gravity doesn't exist. Do you know that? Flat earthers and that. The world is mental. If you want to know why, pick up a Bible, go and read Revelation. It's all in there. You don't know till you know. We live in an absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy world. It's a talent world. Anyway. Plays nicely enough. Standard tuning. Right. About 1.65 on the bass side, about 1.4 on the treble side. That to me is a beautiful action. Beautiful. Very, very nice. Now we're going to have a look at the radius. So I've got it to pitch. I'll check to see if there's any relief in there again. Let's have a little look. There is the smallest amount of relief, I would say about 0.15, maybe even 0.1 at the 7th fret. So have a look, see where we are. On the 7th. 0.15, no it's 0.1, so let's look at 0.15, and that wouldn't be, for those of you who like a straight neck, 0.15 is pretty good. That's in the millimetres, 7th fret, 0.15 at the 7th, Okay, that's a 0.15. 6. So I would like a little bit more relief from that myself, but if we can get away with that small amount, 0.1, 0.12, we will do. So again, have a look at the radius of the strings. Now the two outside ones are set. Everything else on here is just about, it's not that bad. We are maybe a little bit low, not a lot, but we're pretty close to where we need to be. Let's go up a little more. So I'm going to buy one of these guitars. Probably going to buy it today. I've been offered one from a WeBuyYourGuitar.co.uk, whatever it's called. Don't know what it's called. I'm going to come across them this weekend. They're holding one of these for me for 600. It's on eBay for 750, but let me have it for 640 cash. So I said, right, I'll have it. But it's whether I part chop my solo with it or not. I've got a solo guitar worth 800-900 quid on eBay at the moment. I'm struggling to get it sold. Someone says he might have it for 650 today, but he's not got back to me, so I might have to let it go part exchange. If I part exchange it, I'm only going to get 500 quid for it, so I've taken a big hit. But I do want the Holcomb guitar that much, I'm probably going to do it. I can afford to take a bit of a hit. I've just got a amp and cab, 4x12 cab with vintage 30s and a 100 watt Black Star all valve amp head for under 300 quid. Which I'm really, really happy about. Very, very happy with that. Let's retune. Nice. Tuner's a bit squiffy on this, shouldn't be. I've got a Korg Pro, a rat tuner, it's a Pro 1000, Pro something 1000 over there. It has a strobe mode, it's a very accurate tuner. Not right there. So we're in tune, action a little bit higher than I would like. We're going to lower that in a little while, but first we are going to check the intonation. Intonation is way out. Everything's very sharp. Wow. There's some banging about. It's my wife outside. She's tidied up. She's broken up for 6 weeks. She's a teacher. Right, everything there is sharp. regarding the intonation. So we are now going to set the intonation. Everything needs to go that way. Do I have the right screwdrivers? Should have. So I may as well do this. We're just running the camera. Don't know what it is with these screws, but my screwdriver doesn't appear to be working. Well, I'm going to get something better. Bear with me, guys. I may have to go and purchase something better. I do have some long screwdrivers in here, but they are too thick for what I need. I don't have anything in there. What do I have over here? Don't think I have anything suitable, so I'm going to get my StreamHack toolkit. I'll be back in a few seconds. So I have my little StreamHack Guitar Tech kit. Cost me 20 quid, shipping was 15 quid, so it cost me 35 quid. Which is quite expensive for what it is, but it's supposed to be a great piece of kit. It's certainly supposed to be invaluable. And I'm going to use it today for the first time. There you go. So that is. Everything is sharp, so we need to lengthen everything. So I'm going to screw this one back. Maybe the reason I wasn't able to move anything. Strings are also tight. I'm going to move everything quite a ways back. The screws in here are at a slight angle, so it makes them more difficult to move. Remember, guys, when you're swapping string gauges, you need to alter the saddle odds. There's hardly any play in these strings because they've got locking tuners at this end, and so it makes my job more difficult. You know what? I think I'm going to set the intonation maybe when I've got new strings on, because I can have some wraps around the post. I don't like locking tuners one bit. Never have, never will. They don't give you enough adjustment. Also, when you loosen and tighten them, they normally snap. I like to put wraps around posts. Always have, always will. Locking tuners don't keep your guitar in a better tuning, by the way. Strings still stretch. It just means you have less wraps around the post, and again, I do not like that. I mean, these don't want to move. I'm going to take the strings off. Got to level with frets. We'll take the strings off, level with frets, and then we'll move all of these. So, because I'm just wasting my time here. Remove the camera in a second. Get the camera on the guitar, fully on the guitar. I'll measure what strings these are so I can replace them. I'm still selling strings at £5 a set. Tell me anywhere in England you can go buy a set of strings from a guitar shop for 5 quid. It can cost you 7 or 8 quid. But I pay less for mine because I buy them in bulk. So I charge a £5 a set. I think he said these are 10s. God, I'll just text in a minute. And I have Dioderios in stock. There you go. I'm going to measure them. I'm going to put 10s on. Any clattering or banging about. It's my wife. She's off work. She's a noisy woman, my wife sometimes. Oh, she is today. She's on a tidy up and she's done the house top to bottom over the weekend. I've been drum rehearsal yesterday. I'll tell you all about that in the future. In fact, by the time this video's out, you'll already know about it, but I can't release any information just yet. But I was asked to play guitar for a band who I knew many years ago before I even started my own band. And they asked me to play guitar for them a couple of months ago. So I've had a couple of rehearsals with them, and it's good fun. I'll tell you about that a bit later on. Right, okay. So with strings off, much easier to intonate or move the saddles. I don't know what's up with this. They're just not right, these. There you go. And I'm going to take them all back further than they need to be. Ah, this screw is not going in right. It feels like it's cross-threaded. Oh, feels pretty good. Take these all back further than they need to be. That one is not right at all. Whatever is wrong with that, it's wrong. It's not pinging back. I hope it's not cross-threaded. There you go, got it back there. So these are all back now further than they need to be. Which means we can adjust them all the amount we need to the opposite way a bit later on. So that's all for the setup later. So what we're going to do is we are going to get this neck dead straight, set it dead straight, put the tool away. So that goes there. This sits in there. This sits in there. And I'll show you this little toolkit, and yeah, it's nice enough. There you go. Little Stumac guitarist thing. It's got all the right Allen wrench bits on there as well. See if we've got one to fit the saddles. That looks about right. Too fat. Ah, you see, that's not metric, it's non-metric. Let's have a look at here. 1.5 is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1.5 is this one. Let's have a look. That's brilliant. So good. Yeah, we do like that. Okay, pretty good. Nice little bit of kit. I am going to need some long screwdriver to better adjust these. Bear with me guys, I'm just going to check my emails. I do have a guitar deal being set up for one of these actually. I mentioned it earlier, didn't I? Trying to sell my solar, no one's buying, which is a shame. So this, we're going to get the neck dead straight. Now there's back though in that because I've removed the strings, so we are going to remove again. Let's get into the kit. Let's go into this piece of kit. Don't just put the, we'll just go straight in as we are. I did not move that camera yet, did I? So as most people do, they put the Mark Holcomb and they flip it over, so you haven't got the signature bit on there. That should be a 7mm adjuster. And let me just get this set up right. Now you see the reflection on the guitar there. That's because I don't have a blind down, and it's why I've put such good light in this workshop. Is because to make everything a viewing pleasure for you guys, I'm going to have to drop the blind behind there, like so. And now you can see everything. So, 7mm adjuster. Do have my bobbins over here. I will have a 7. I think it's a 7 or a PRS. Sure it is. Soon find out, won't we? may not be, it may be more. I don't know what this one is. That's too big. So here's a 7. Two-way truss rod, I believe. That should be putting more of an arc in it. Yeah, it is. It's a two-way truss rod. So non-removable. Let's see where we are, because we're going to go across these frets with fret rocker in a moment. Okay, we are a level neck. Just going to lie behind there. No, I didn't learn how to do this on my iPhone. It's not that way. Oh, hang about. I think, was it a... No, it wasn't that way. It was this way. There's a torch right here somewhere. There you go. Here's my torch. So I can... Right, okay, we need to go a little bit tighter with that. See what... let me just take and Ross out. So I also don't need over 2. There you go. So guys let me down on a cab today, so I'm coming to pick it up. I've been contacting him since Friday, he's not got back to me. People who just waste people's time. I had it on eBay as well, and I told people on eBay not to bid because the guy was coming for it. And now the guys let me down, so I'm going to name and shame him on Facebook in a bit. I ain't got time for twats who let people down. I'm sat here with a cab thinking it's sold and it's not. And I've sport by an eBay auction telling people not to bid. Now it finishes in 6 hours and I need someone to buy it. So people who waste people's time, stop it. We don't like it. Anyway, getting the neck straight. Close, but no cigar. A little bit more that way. I can tell it's got back on it. So we were very, very close. So we're going to go back just a nudger again. I think we're about right there. Seems to be about right. Yep, good there, good there, good there. That's it. So we have the neck straight. So let's have a look at the frets. Before I put all my tools away, I can put this one away. So yeah, decent bit of kit. Nice to have in the old pocket on your guitar case or whatever. So we're going to go there. Don't need this tool at the moment. We have already set truss rod. So the neck straight, so I can put those back. One small Allen wrench could go back in the case. Turn go off. Get the tools out of the way. Do have a Sharpie here. Do have a fret rocker here. So again, just check the neck one more time. Like I said, a few seconds to settle. Yes, my friends, that is a straight neck. And we're going to mark the frets that have high spots. Let's zoom in a little there. There you go. On the guitar, not on me. I'd like to talk with someone all day about guitars. Don't have time for that, I'm working. Okay, so here we go. One fret rocker. So fret 2 in that area already. High spots. Let's mark them. Here we go, that sounds like someone at the front door. I'm going to have to go and get that because I'm waiting for a parcel. So that was my local postman, so I had to answer that. Moving on. I'm going to get these frets marked up, the high ones. I always mark 3 areas. Area 1, Area 2, Area 3. With this is an indelible pen, so this will not rub off. And it just lets me know where the high spots are already. These 3 frets all have high spots. And I said, I don't even know if I'm going to include the first bit of video on this, my appraisal video. But on the other video, I marked everything off. I said I'll read it, I'll probably get more high spots once I've got the strings off and can check everything properly. But this is having a £135 fret level recrown polish with a complete setup. Marking off these frets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high frets at the moment. Six. That's really high. That's 7 high frets, and the intonation was way out. So we need that to set as well, and the action and the radius on the saddles was awful. So as much as anything, this needed a proper setup, but also going to need these frets sorting out. Now this is not the 6th Mark Holcomb I've had in the workshop, it's actually the 7th. If you go through my back catalogue, you'll see that I've worked on 7 of these guitars before. Every one of them needed a fret level. I think that's fret 8. What I'm going to be doing in a minute is, because this is a set neck, we're going to have to hide the pickups, so I'm going to lower them into the body of the guitar. Is that fret 9? I'm going to lower them into the body of the guitar. I'm going to cover the pickups with tape, just so we don't get any filings or anything in there. Just a little spot on there. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frets with high spots in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 high spots over 10 frets. And all marked off. Indelible marker, you can, I don't know if you can see that or not. And more or less ready to level. What I'm going to do is we are going to drop the pickups down. Not right the way down, I don't want to pop off the screws, but I want them beneath where the leveling file is going to go, and this one, just drop them down, just so we can cover them with some tape, get them out of the way. That's fine. 3M tape here. This is perfect stuff, low tack. And we're just going to cover the pickups and seal them in, just so we don't get anything untoward in there. How's that? And that's those sealed in. And there you go. So when we level the frets, we're not going to get anything in. Now this nut, we could knock the nut off. That'll just make things easier for leveling, and we can glue it back on later. And that should just straight off of its shelf, nice, clean, no damage to anything there. That will go straight back on. We'll just put a little blob of super glue back on there, so that's the nut off. Not that we're going to hit anything, but I may just put a piece of tape just over this end. And we'll actually take it up to where the nut just came off, because that way, if we get any excess of glue, it's not going to cause a problem. We'll just follow this bit in just so we can remove it easier later on. Don't really need to do this at all, it's just I'm being a little bit picky today. So there you go, so that's ready for levelling the frets. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What we are going to do before we start levelling anything is we are going to support underneath. We're going to knock these back in with a fretting hammer, just to make sure that they are seated correctly. Before I do that, I'm going to nip downstairs, get myself a paracetamol, because I've got a little bit of a headache. Nothing major, but may as well be comfortable. And I'll be back very shortly. So I've just been across the whole fingerboard, tapped in all the frets with high spots with a nylon end of my fret hammer. I'm going to put away. And we're going to again check the frets. Still high, still high, that one is no longer high, still high, still high there. Someone suggested on one of my videos the other week, don't you hammer the frets before you go levelling them? Yeah, always. Just because I don't show it doesn't mean I don't do it. So we still need a fret level. There you go. So we're going to level the whole lot, just check what that is there. So that's that. So I'm going to grab my leveling beam, which is here. Ready, Crimson Guitars, perfectly level. Got some 400 grit on top, some 240 grit on the base. And we're going to, this is my leveling beam, which I'm going to level with, but first I'm going to hit it with a file. Now I'll be using a leveling file, one I got from Chris Allsop. Bear with me a second. To remove the main material from the higher of the frets. So and there it is, precision level. It's a 300 grit diamond file in a holder. And I'm just going to hit all the marked areas. And when I stop getting resistance, I know that those frets are level. Great piece of kit this. It removes a lot of material in a short space of time. I'm just going to be hitting the frets that I can see at high spots. And you may be thinking, well, that being so short, does it create an uneven level? Well, possibly, slightly. But we aren't going to worry about that. But more importantly, it removes material from all of the frets just about. Now I'm going to need, I do have a brush knocking about, but I don't know, my wife's been in here and tied it up. So I don't know where everything is. Just going to give her a wipe. And we're going to take the fret rocker again and we're going to check all of the frets again. Because I can see I've removed material from the tops of all, especially all of those ones which are marked up. Still high there. And on the edge, so we're going to hit those again. The rest of them, we're going to be alright. Now what we've done is we've scratched up all of the frets, which means we won't get away with not polishing all of them. We're going to have to polish a lot. And that's what I like to do. It's what I'm going to do anyway. It's how I do the job properly. But that makes sure you have to polish all the frets. You can't leave a few out that you've not touched. Polish the lot. But we are going to have to re-crown these frets first. But the great thing is that they are now level. So we are going to mark up these frets again, all of them this time, across the whole length. And when we remove all of the pen, we know that all of the frets are level with each other. May take a couple of passes. We'll go first with a 240 grit and finish up with the 400 grit. But we're just going to check these two again. Still high on the outside, so we're going to take the file and we're going to work these areas. Still high on that side. And that's it, we are now level. Now because we know the next straight, we're going to level all of the frets. So we're going to mark the tops of all of them. And it's only when all of the pen is gone that we know that all of the frets are level with each other along the whole length of the neck. So let's get these marked up. Like I say, we'll first go with the 240 grit. And we'll hit it with the 400 grit, which will remove some of the deeper scratches. It'll make them easier to polish later on. Now I get a heck of a lot of fret levels in at this workshop. This is the 7th Mark Holcomb that I've had in the workshop, and every one has needed a fret level. So what has happened to quality control over the last, or is that, I was going to say last few years, but has that always been a problem? Why is it that you buy a brand new guitar and you have to go and get a complete fret level when it's less than 2 years old or less than a year old in most cases? How do they justify that? How does any manufacturer justify that? Have standards slipped that much? Or has that always been the way? You tell me. I don't know. I just know that I get a lot of fret levels in. I've had Squires in that have been had better frets on them than higher, better brand guitars. Why is that? Very, very strange. So, Crimson guitars, leveling beam, perfectly level, emery on the edges, 240 grit on the base. Going to hit it with the 240. Only when the silver, these are all silver tops along the whole length or width, you're going to know that these frets are level. And it's looking like made a good job of this already, because it seems like the tops of the frets are all silver. There's actually one here in the middle that isn't, so we're going to keep working. It's possible we've got a little dip in there, a little bit of relief, so we're going to go and check that in a second. In fact, I'm going to check it right now. If we do, we have the tiniest bit of relief in there. Just going to hit the truss rod ever so slightly, because it's just a couple of frets here. It's not going to make a difference that we can, that is going to be a show or a tell. Just going to give that a little turn. And that looks fine to me. Let's just hit it again. Making sure we're going in with a 240, which we are. There we go, we are level fretted. So we're going to hit them again with some marker pen. Now all of the frets have been hit with the levelling beam. We're going to mark them all up again. We're going to hit them with 400 grit. And once the tops are all silver, we're level. And we'll finish everything off. We're going to take the fingerboard up. We'll get the files out. We're going to recrown the frets, then move on. So it's recrown and polish. Again, a lot of work still to be done. It's the polishing that takes the time. Leveling's quick. The crowning's semi-quick. I mean, it's neither quick nor slow. It's the polishing that takes the time. So, 400 grit, which is at this side. We want to follow a radius. We overlap this side because we've got to follow the full radius. So we always keep the beam at 90 degrees to the frets, so it does overlap at the far end. Still a little bit more in this area, so that would say to me we've maybe got a little bit of relief in there. Not worried about that. Necks are never perfectly straight. You will have a bit of undulation, a bit of a, you know, like a humpty back Loch Ness Monster type thing. It will go slightly up and down along its length. So it's normal to have not level or not straight, not exactly straight neck. But there you go, we are all done. just giving it a bit more at this end because it's much easier to remove material from these ones because they're spaced out more, where these are tighter, so you need to give us a little bit more of a go. And there we go. And the tops of the frets are all silver. So we've got level frets along the whole length of the guitar. I'm just going to get away right all this dust from between the frets because we're going to tape up this fingerboard ready for recrowning. But that didn't take long at all, did it? So there you go, job well done. Silver topped frets, all ready for taping up and recrowning. So I'm going to get my tape, I'm going to tape up, we're going to just leave the frets exposed, we're going to get some pen over the top again and we're going to recrown. So back shortly. Moving on, and I hope you can see from there, I'm not going to move the camera. I'm going to recrowning the frets. So the frets, we've levelled them, we're now flat on the top. We're going to put our curve back in there over the top because we need minimal contact from the top of the fret to the bottom of the string, because if the frets are flat it's going to create buzz. So I've got two files for doing this job. Z file or Z file from Stumac, I'll explain what that does in a minute. And then we've got a crowning file also from Stumac. Great thing about Stumac, these are guaranteed for life. When they wear out, they'll replace them. So these are both diamond files, that means they've got a flat shaped edge and they're encrusted with diamonds. That gives it a fine cut. Now you look at this one, you've got a shallow but long cut on the top and a short but sharp or steep cut on the near side. If I turn this 180 degrees, you have the same cuts but in the opposite, on the opposite side. And what this does is it'll cut, one side it'll cut like that, another side it'll cut like that, and when you flip it over it'll do the opposite. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't touch the top of a fret. Why don't we want the top of the fret touching? Because they're all level, and we're all level with each other. So if we move anything off the top, it's going to alter that one's relationship with these two frets and these two. So we need them all keeping level. So what's great about this is just a few strokes, following the radius. Now a very small radius on this guitar. We'll flip it over 180 degrees. That's made cuts to both sides, but look at the top. It has not cut the top of a fret. There's a nice thin line down the middle. So that's it, we've maintained the height. And then what we do is we go with this file. It's got two cuts, it's got one for wide frets and one for jumbo frets. Go with the wide because they're a wide fret. And I'm just going to slightly angle it and just remove any inconsistencies. And I'll just go over the edge, just to round those edges off. We've got a nice thin black line down the centre. So that fret is now where it was flat on top, we've now recrowned it. We have, I believe, 23 more to do. So I'm going to crack on and get them done. It's going to take me a while. I'm going to turn off the camera. I'm going to put on some music or something else, some audio of some type. And I'm going to crack on and get these done. By the way, we always clean the file after a fret because it will leave residue. And that's it. I'm going to do one more for the camera. Flip 180. Nice thin black line down the centre. Taking the other file, same again. over the side, rounding off the edges, and that is it. We have 2 crowned frets right there. I'm going to crack on, get the rest of them done. Once that's done, we'll come back and I'll show you how we go about polishing the frets. So now at the polishing stage, we have some sandpaper here, 6 grits on there, 600 through to 2000, so 600, 800, 1000, 1200, 1500 and 2000. But before I hit it with polishing stuff, I'm going to hit it with some of the hard stuff. This is 400 grit and this is a lot thicker. This is almost like card. And what this will do is we'll get rid of all the deep scratches on the top where the black pen is. So this one, this is just to remove, if it removes the black pen, it's removing scratches, and look at that, straight across and removing it. And this is really, really coarse sandpaper. The great thing about it is it will prep it for the polishing. Where all the scratches go in that way, we're going to remove them by going across. So this bit doesn't take long, but the polishing is going to take longer. Already had the client on WhatsApp. Any news on the guitar? If there is news, we'll send you news. We don't like being bugged as guitar techs. You know, we normally give you a start and finish date. And asking us when it's going to be done is not helpful. But I understand he's eager to get it back. It's his only guitar. So there's about an hour and a half left in this. Hour or so, hour and a half of polishing. Don't forget I'm going with 7 grits of paper times 24. Then I've got the finest grade steel wool as well. So it's 8 times 24. You'll find it's 192 polishers altogether. There you go. So I'm going to crack on, get this done, and when it's done, I'll come show you the result. Right guys, so we're done with the paper. Gone through with 7 grits of sandpaper, 400 through 2000. I'm going to finish off with the superfine steel wool. I've got the glove. Always leave these 2 fingers on because they're my polishing fingers. Leave these ones just at the little cutouts there, and some superfine steel wool, the finest grade you can get. And straight over the frets, and this will bring, what we've done is we've removed all the scratches with the sandpaper, going finer grit each time, and now we're going to bring them to a beautiful shine with the steel wool. But it's just a matter of pinching over the fret, getting either side and getting over the top there, and just giving it a good polish, and it won't take long. And yeah, really, really good. So these frets will come out glass-like. And what I like about this guitar is I've just bought one, exactly the same model, 2022 Mark Holcomb signature PRS SE. Beautiful, beautiful guitar. I bought it for the pickups. The pickups on these are amazing. The Alpha and Omega by Seymour Duncan. I plugged this in the other day. I took my Solar to band rehearsal yesterday, and I plugged this in after I played the Solar, and this just blew the Solar out of the water for sound. The pickups are just amazing. So I had a look online, see if I could get some of these pickups sticking with Solar. Couldn't get any for less than 250 quid. So I thought, you know what, I'll sell the Solar guitar and I'll buy one of these. And I bought one of these for 640 quid. And it's pristine condition. So I paid 640 for the guitar. I've not sold my Solar. I've just put my Solar back up to 750 on eBay. I'll take less. But I've got someone interested at 650 who wants free shipping with that. And it's a little bit less than we'll let it go for, but I might let it go, I don't know. It's on eBay at the moment. I expect that to be sold way before this video comes out. But anyway, these frets, glass-like, superb. So I've used the 7 grits, 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1200, 1500, 2000 grits of paper. remove all the scratches, bring them to a nice glass like shine with this steel wool. Stunning. This is just about done. Once this is done, I'm going to glue the nut back on, get some strings on, and we'll move on to the setup. So I'll bring you back in once this is all done. Just before I put the strings back on, I'm just going to show the frets or the fretwork. And one little thing about it, I've oiled the fingerboard and we've got a little residue oil seeping under the frets, and I hate to see that. It means the frets are not seated as well as they might be. But there you go. There's the frets that I've levelled and polished. I think you'll agree that they are beautifully shining and smooth. And we're going to stick some strings back on here. Now, the client did send some strings with the guitar. I'm going to get them out of his case in a second. I've just bought one of these guitars, by the way, or just about to buy one. I'm waiting for the invoice to come through. 640 quid. So pretty excited to get it. I've had one before. Shouldn't have sold it. Did sell it. As soon as I did, thought, why did I sell that? The pickups were amazing. Again, these Alpha Omega pickups in this guitar are amazing. They're just the best pickups I've heard in any guitar ever. So yeah, so I shouldn't have sold it, but did. But there you go, it's the way it goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick these on. There's a 942 set, Super Slinkies, Ernie Ball. That's what is sent. These are built for a, sure they're built for a 1252 or 1152 set, but you know, the client, he wants these strings on it. He sent it in with these strings on. It sounded fantastic. I will be putting 1046s on mine because I will be playing instead of tuning for a while. But there you go. Let's have a look there. We'll see where we are. Looks pretty good. And yeah, I'm going to whack your strings on. Once they're on, we're going to get the intonation set on here. I did pull all of these saddles back because everything was short, so we needed to go back, but I'm not sure where, so I've overcompensated and took them back further than they need to be. So we're going to get the strings on, get it all set up. We'll cut the nut slots because they're going to need cutting as well, and this will be ready in about an hour. So remember before, where I overcompensated for the intonation, just stretching the strings in now. I've done the E string, bringing this to pitch, checking the intonation, it's just about right on the A, like that. The E's already done, that was sharp. So stretching the strings in, with 942 set on here. That one must have just slipped, so tighten that one up. Stretch this one in. That's sharp, so again, we're now going to send the saddle that way, so much easier to do. And I'm excited to receive my version of this guitar. Pickups are just phenomenal. Still a little bit sharp, so we're just going to write a little bit more, and that should be just about right. Like I say, I overcompensated last night. I set them all, or yesterday, set them all a lot sharper than they needed to be. Still very sharp, so we need to let this out more. tiny bit sharp. So a lot of adjustment on these, which is great. And that should do it. Still sharp. Not sure I've got much more adjustment. See where we are. We're getting right to the end of the travel here. If that isn't it, we're in trouble because we're at the end of the travel. Okay, but we are, I've got the string set quite high, so let's see where we are. Oh, hang on, I'm going the wrong way, that's why. Going the wrong way. Let's get that really loose. Let's get this back here. Sharp, I need to move the saddle to the right, not to the left. Right, let's go again. It's been a long day. They were not perfect. I've got the pickles from miles away from the strings as well. I forgot to put these back up, didn't I? Let's get these back up where they need to be. Now, for me, the saddles are a little bit high, so we're going to be altering those once I've got all this set up. That's pretty good. Which is sharp, so we need to move the saddle to the right. Do your string loose, push that up a little to where I need it to be. What I say about this, pretty good. So as you can see, it can be a bit of a ball ache. Ah, there you go, that was stuck. But once it's set, it's done, isn't it? a little bit flat, so we're just going to lay it out a little. And that should put us right where we need to be. B string. So I'm going to get these last two strings done off camera and I'll bring you back in when we're done. The intonation's done. I've just set the action at the 12th fret of both strings, 1.75 this side, 1.5 on that side, and I'm just rechecking the radius on the saddles. And we do have G string a little bit high, so we're just going to drop it down a tad. That's good. Everything else is sat where it needs to sit. So the strings, the radius on the strings is now perfect. So we're just going to check the tuning again. I'm not putting the nut slots. I've decided that they are low enough. Well, actually I've got to cut them because they could certainly go lower. But I don't want to have the action too high, so at the 12th fret. Let's just see where we are. Sounds nice and not plugged in, so I'm just going to set the height of the pickups to about 2.5 mil on the far side, a little bit more of a gap on the bass side, so just take the treble side just up a touch. And that's where the strings press down at the last fret, 24th, just there. And I am liking where that is, so that should be absolutely fine. So that, for all intents and purposes, is done. I just need to put the truss rod cover back on there and leave them in nut slots as they are. If he wants it altering again, he can always bring it back. I'm going to let him take it home, let him know he can come back to me if he wants to change anything on the setup. That to me is a pristine setup. Everything looks very good there. Put the Mark Holcomb truss rod on in reverse, so it's just a blank. I think we did that on purpose, made it straight edged one, so you can just reverse it if you like. I don't like signature guitars, but what I like about this signature guitar is you can just turn the truss rod over. It's no longer a sig. Just a PRS, and a very, very good one at that. The pickups are astonishingly good. I believe these pickups are now selling for something like 250, 300 pound a set. Stupid money. And that's why I didn't go and buy a set of pickups. I thought I'd just buy the guitar with them on and sell the other guitar. So that is what I've chosen to do. Just going to have a quick look at the slots, but I don't really think I'm going to change anything. I could take them lower, but why if you don't need to? So let me just get that. That's my little toolkit, my little. I'll put it in the right way. Yeah, I'll put it in the right way. There you go, that's in there. My little Stumac toolkit there. That can go back in this box. The tuner can go off. Tools can go back where I need them to be. Great, and that's as much as I'm doing today. So for all intents and purposes, this guitar is finished, so let's just have a quick look at the nut slots and measure them. Measure where we are each side. I like to be 0.3 this side, 0.2 that side. So So let's go with a 0.3. I'm going to cut these as a 1046 set because that's what I believe should be on there, not a 942 set. And 0.3, and we are only a tiny bit over there. Let's have a look at this at about 0.2. There's 0.2. 0.2, and come on, we're hardly any height above there at all. So I'm going to leave them where they are. I'm happy with those strings as they are. That to me is a pristine setup. The guitar is going to play absolutely lovely, and it's ready for the buyer to come and collect. Let me just move the camera. I say ready for the buyer to collect, I meant for the owner to collect. But here we are. PRS Mark Holcomb 2022 model, or 2022 version, so less than a year old, or about a year old. Fantastic piece of kit made in Indonesia. Come in, it definitely wanted a setup. It wanted the radius sorted out on the saddles there, and it certainly needed a fret level, which it has had. I'm just going to give it a wipe back here. And there you go, and that is beautiful. And that is now ready to go back to its owner. He will be on the way. It will be here for 7 o'clock. My dinner will be ready in about 5 minutes. I believe it's about 6:30 in the PM. It's exactly 6:30 in the PM. So PRS Mark Holcomb 2022 version of this guitar, all set up, fret level, recrown and polish, all ready to go. Lovely, lovely, lovely guitar. And I'm sure the client is going to enjoy many years of good playing with it. So that is it. Just before I go, I'll remind you of our website, best place to catch any news about me or find out anything about me. Even on YouTube or on Google, best place is Facebook, facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/MGONESEVEN. I am Victor. I am your friend. Until next time, as always, God bless you all. Be good to each other. And I'll see you next time.